So hello everyone and welcome back to FTRL for what is week 4, I think, of season 15 of GT Sport. And this evening we are at the iconic Bathurst for the 3 races this evening. So as always, 2 Group 4 races and then the Group 3 race. So Bathurst, here we go. Group 4 much more straightforward than the Group 3s this season, as it'll be for most weeks, but this in particular, this track is a lot harder than the Group 3 car, that's for sure. So it'll be interesting to watch the differences, but I've got a full grid once again this season, a couple of reserves joining in, there's a couple missing, so full grid as usual. It seems to be happening very, very regularly in this season, which is good. Good evening, we've seen this quite a few already. Good evening, Mapman and Fever. So, yeah, as I say, you might only get 1 lap here. Some of them will get 2, some will, half will get 1. Actually, thinking of the time it's going to take them to get around here, I got 4 car. I think nearly them all will get 1. There'll be there might be a few that get 2, but there'll be some that only get 1 lap in here, I think. Possibly. So we'll see anyway. But yeah, it's a tight one, this one, for getting 2 laps. It's usually about 2 minutes, low 2 minutes for Group 3, very low 2 minutes, depending on what tyres you're on. So for Group 4, we can go slower than that, obviously. A good mix of corners around here though. You've got some really tricky sections here. It's a bit like, in terms of like the hill section, it's a bit like Monaco, but on a hill, like gradient changes, a bit more than Monaco. That's kind of how it feels in our car around here. It's one of a kind of circuit. It's very narrow at points. It's very tricky, but it's. If there's one track I'd want to do this season, it's this place. It's an absolute dream to drive, and it's just iconic, this place. Absolutely brilliant. Tight grid starts though. Obviously the first 2 are, actually no, sorry. The first one is standing start, and then the next 2 are rolling start. Standing starts are difficult here, because the grid's tiny. Not a great start from Matman's lap. I'm not sure, as I say, I don't know how many we'll get, so we'll see. Let's watch the person at the very front of this, which is Rom. She's coming out. That's a really tricky left-hand corner there. One of the trickier corners on that track. It's get it easily wrong. This one is flat out. You'll see no lifting at all. Flat out. You can also go flat out in the Group 3, just need to get it right. The high-speed corners on the track, really difficult corners, you need to get the angle right, particularly this one here, not to brush off any speed. Much easier on the Group 4 car. Group 3 car, you'll see some of them having to lift possibly, then down the mountain they go. Make sure you don't touch the walls like that, and that's going to ruin Rob's lap a little bit. I've lost him a little bit of time as he comes towards Forest Elbow, and you get a good exit here. Maximise the speed on the exit all the way down the Conrod straight. One of the one of the fastest speeds you'll get on GT down this straight. Route X, it's an absolute monster straight all the way down, and down this hill just to give you an extra little boost of speed as well, all the way down to the kink here. It's not much of a corner really, and into the next couple of corners, tricky corners to get right. Good evening, unsafe. And now coming towards the final corner, it could all go wrong here. And brakes nice and early, gets it turned in, and then open the steering up, off he goes, and it's going to be a 2-minute 10.5, and he is going to get another lap. T Smith has beaten a 2-minute 9.7. That'll be because Rom had a dodgy middle sector, he hit a wall. Lennon's going to get another lap in, he's P5 at the moment. There's Junkie Sport, a couple more. Pagani, and are they all going to get another lap? Let's have a look. Mike's going to get another lap. SBY, is he going to get another lap? He is indeed. SBY goes pole. There's one track SEY is very good, that is this one. And Bread is only getting it. No, Bread's actually got that. Is it Nobby Norris? Has he got another lap? I think he has he? No, he hasn't. So I think it might be only Nobby Norris that has, and I think they all actually have managed to get round here. I do know, for having raced SBY round here, SBY is really quick round here on his day. Very quick round here, so definitely one to watch. Pagani, where's Pagani? Imagine he's P4. Up there, he's P4. I was about to say, I imagine he's up near the top, and then ended up saying like I imagine he was P4, but yeah, Pagani's all we can about the top round here. It's his baby other than Norsley. Absolutely loves it around here, and he's on a personal best, and he's catching up to whoever's in ninth. At the moment, it's like blue flag. And it's not too bad. He might not get held up too much here, because he will get the slipstream down the straight. Blue flag's got a penalty on this lap, which isn't helpful. Gary, a little bit compromised there on the exit there, I think, with blue flag in front of him, which isn't helpful. But he is now going to get the slipstream down here, and he might be about to overtake blue flag possibly round here, as he is gained now. He's now 4 times up, but he has, I think, nearly a second, and Pagani has got that extra boost down the straight. So can he make this up? Obviously it will affect his braking zone, but he got it all right there. Obviously I'm not expecting to have that much speed come down the straight. Rom 10 flat, P4 P3 momentarily before Aaron beats him. Pagani's going to come across, and this is going to be close, I think. It is a 2.99, so it's nowhere near at the pace of SBY, but he did get held up a little bit by blue flag. But I don't think that's his representative pace. And SBY comes across the line, he's not going to improve, but SBY comfortably on pole position for the first race. Feber with a 9 just at the end to pop himself up into P5. Bread's not had a good qualifier sadly for him, but SBY class off the field there on a 2.94, and very, very well done to them all to get 2 laps there. They all had to get a move on. A lot of times you might see them do the route like quite slowly, but there they had to get a move on there. But as I say, this is going to be standing start. Now this will be the dodgiest start of the season. As you can see, they are very close together here. It's a very, very narrow, tight grid, and we have seen accidents before. I've been caught up in accidents before when someone doesn't move off the grid here. That can be pretty awful. There's nowhere to go. As it gets underway, and it's side by side on the grid for this track as well, because it's so small, and it's T Smith who leads into turn 1 from SBY. And Aaron's in P3, then we've got Pagani in P4. Everyone seems to have got very nicely through. That's possibly the cleanest start I've ever seen at Bathurst. Rom P6, we've got Lee P7, Peatman fighting with Ross and Lennon, heading up the straight. This is an opportunity to get past people very early on. They can get quite tight and bumpy towards this next corner, the right-hander. Can be quite difficult around here at the start. You can see Peatman and Ross going side by side. And don't think anyone has tapped the wall on the outside from what I can see there. Everyone seems to have got through relatively unscathed, which is very good for this track. Into the next left-hander, up the hill they go. And now we've got a relatively easy section here. It'll be flat out through here. We'll have to lift it all on the brute floors. And through here it should be flat out all the way round, but could get a chance to overtake possibly. Someone get really close to Smith, a little bit wide there in the first part. Then this second car is so fast, that corner comes at you so quickly. It's basically a blind corner. Oh, T Smith all over the shot there on the curb. As you see the helicopter kind of out the way at the side of the screen on the camera there. T Smith will still getting in the lead. Had a bit of a moment on the curb down the hill. It's all right. And Forest Elbow he goes, still leading from SUI. Aaron in P3. There we've got Pagani all very closely bunched up P2, P3 and P4. This could be close between SBY, Aaron and Pagani. SBY could be under pressure. Aaron's been slightly nudged off by SBY there, but ended up being a little bit ducked. Oh, he's still being nudged off. SBY's not giving him much room there. He gets already very close together, side by side there. There was another back contact, a lot of contact there down the straight. It's very close again. Pagani looked like he was going to try and move on Aaron, but then a think he backed out, knowing what was happening in front of him with SBY and Aaron. But it's still as you were, unbelievably. After that, contact quite a bit actually. Yeah, but they both managed to get out of it. Could have ended quite badly at the kink there. Gone off straight, but it's alright. Lennon down in P9, that's P9, P10, Blue Flag down in P11, so he's lost a couple places. Brad P12, then there's Carl, he's reserving for this evening P13, just making P14, Nobby Morrison P15. It's an unforgiving track, this one. You make a mistake, you will be punished. As SBY tries to go round the outside, but he's not quite alongside enough at the braking zone, so he's had to back out of that one. Also, with it being a long lap, we've not got as many laps in as well. SBY still have a little look, a slightly different line from Tom. It's the next part. Can be a bit of a slipstream fest, this track as well. So there's quite a few long straights around here. It's a long track. With the long straights, you can be a struggle sometimes to get out slipstream range, but there is that mountain section which it's very easy to make a mistake in that mountain section and you can lose slipstream very easily there. But for the rest of the lap, it's very much a lot of straights, very close behind. As you can see right now, they're doing a very good job at going very, very close to each other. I mean, there's a second cover in the top 4 at the moment. That's Fever and P5, on for another decent result again. Ron P6, there's Lee Cullen P7. Best we've seen him do in this group car so far, as I think that was Fever had a dodgy run through there, and Rom has managed to get past at the look of it. Rom and P6, I'm not sure. I can't remember where was who actually. But anyway, they're going wheel to wheel. And I think actually SBY has managed to get past Tom. He's going to go round the outside. Tom has the inside line. Going to go wheel to wheel. SBY. Oh, over the grass he goes. He's off. He's going to hit the. Oh, is he going to hit the wall? No, he's managed to get away from the wall. Tom didn't really do anything there, I don't think. I think SBY just kind of was a wee bit over optimistic that he was going to be able to control that. He managed to hold off P3 for the time being, but then he's went on the grass, and that's going to give Pagani a chance. He's going to pull out, he's going to try and go round the outside. He's also got Fever trying to come in the action as well. Pagani's going to try and go round the outside of SBY. SBY's trying to defend, and he's going wide again. He's managed to keep it on the track this time. Now Pagani's going to have the slipstream down in towards the next corner. And as he gets the slipstream at the moment, he's pulled out. I think he's going to have to come back in if he wants to get past. He's going to be very close. He's going to be on braking this one. SBY and Pagani breaks later. SBY has to yield. So Pagani up to P3. Lee Cole going wide there. That's Ross moving up to P7. So movements down the straight on lap 3. I think actually Lennon's also got past Lee Cole as well. So Lee Cole lost 2 places there in that little sequence there. I'm going to have a look down there, back in the inside. Is that he's defending? I think he's defending from Blue Flag there. Blue Flag looked like he tried to get in the action as well. Bread's hitting the wall there. In the Alpine livery. Very out of shape there, the Bread. Back to the lead we go. It's still T. Smith in that Cars livery. Like the McQueen style livery. I must say it's unique, but it's a very nice livery. I do like it. Aaron sitting 13 P2. Pagani's got a little bit of a gap to catch up now after having got past SBY. So you have to keep an eye on SBY behind him though in the slipstream now. I think he might be slightly too far back this lap, but possibly the next few laps. So we're nearly halfway through already of this race 1. Rom, Peeper still having a bit of a battle. Rom is winning out at the moment. To the next corner and we go. Ross in P7 still. There's Lennon and Lee after they lost those 2 places. SVY trying to have a look down the inside of Pagani. Pagani trying to hold it around the outside. I think Pagani might have that still for the moment. If these two, the rivalry between these two and over the last few seasons has been ridiculous. They always seem to end up coming together. They always seem to end up having contact. It's just one of those things that happens every bloody week. And just think they're so closely matched on pace, and none of them want to give an inch to each other. Which is why I think it creates so many incidents between the two of them. That front is still Tom and Aaron, as you can see there in the camera shot just in front of them. Pagani is losing more time though, because the more these two battle, the more they're battling for P3 and P3 only. And they'll not be able to catch up to those two guys in front who look to be going away from the rest of the chasing back here. The battle is going on. So I think very soon this is going to become very much a two-horse race. SBY gets that corner all wrong. Under a lot of pressure there from Rob. Luckily he's coming to the slower section, so it's unlikely Rob will try a move. That's going to allow Pagani a little bit of breathing space for the time being. I don't think Aaron's in any rush to get past Tom, and I don't think he's that close anyway. Same with Pagani, SBY. Everyone else seems to kind of has slipstream off the car in front and things, so it's more of a train, so I don't know that anyone will be getting past there. I expect Peatman possibly here on blue flag, as Peatman pulls to the outside here, and Peatman moves himself up into P10, and in the braking zone it's already done, and Bread's having to defend. Oh, from Carl, Bread's off the track. Carl's through. There's Mike behind P14. Nobby Norris back off the field. New fastest lap of the race for T Smith, 2:09.7. That's the best round just behind. These two pick up the pace just at the point where these behind are beginning to battle. Danny and SY. So we'll see if they stop battling and they start to close that gap. Struggle to now. And they'll have 2 more laps after this one to go. It's going to be a 7-lap race, this one. Those two will be the same as well, 7 laps. It's still quite close to the back of T Smith. No rush yet. He doesn't need to do anything until the last lap, really. The last lap battle between those two, barring any incidents. Before that, behind Ross, Lennon's dropped off a little bit, and he's got Lee right behind him. And under a bit of pressure here, though. Don't look like Lennon will be under that much pressure in terms of Lee trying to overtake at this point. Keep around here. Oh, that might not have helped. Oh, God. Lee had to back off there as Lennon hit the wall. Rom is outside the slipstream range here of SBY, so Ross. Oh no, it's not. Sorry, Ross is outside the slipstream range of Rom, so Bieber is going to have a chance to get past here if he wants to, but it doesn't look like he is. In the background though, Lee has took an opportunity on Lennon to get past, and he's made it stick, so he's up into P8, or back up into P8 I should say. Well, Lennon overtook him earlier on in the race, but through the grid, everyone seems to go through alright on this occasion. Junkie Sports still in P12 after Brevin off last lap, and it's still Mikey and Nobby Norris down the field. P14, P15. T Smith then still leads us on to the penultimate lap of race 1. Still got a very slender margin over Aaron in P2. Aaron's still not in any particular rush by the look of it to get past. He's just updrafting him. We're getting still the same amount, 2.728 seconds hovering around between the top two, and SVY and Pagani in P3 and P4. These two continue to keep battle. SVY with the fastest lap of the race after he's got past Pagani on that last while we were watching something else, or the Condor Straight. So SVY back up into P3 again. Can he clearly, it seems like he's the fastest man at the moment on track. It's a rapid time, 2 minute 9.4. That's quicker than the pole time. Obviously it was slipstream behind Pagani. Just shows you they do have the pace to be up front with those two. The battling that happened between him and Pagani, basically lost them all that time. Now have to make up just over a lap now. Well, a little bit ragged, but he is gaining time, it's fair to say. But he has actually picked up a 1.5 second penalty though, as much as he's gained time there. So as much as he's gained nearly a second, over half a second to Aaron T. Smith, it's not going to make any difference really. So that's a penalty to get rid of. 1.5 seconds is a big chunk of time as well. Aaron still not in any rush to get past T. Smith. He's going to leave it to the last lap. T. Smith is going to have to defend for all his work basically down into braking zone on the following lap. The last lap, SUY is going to have an issue here to make rid of that penalty. Pagani's very much in the driving seat for P3. Rob still P5, under pressure though from Ross. And then it's Bieber and Nicole behind there. Oh, SBY's made up. Oh, what's SBY done? Oh, he's got rid of his penalty, that's why. Oh, he's not decided to try and get rid of it in the last lap, he's just backed off. And so that's allowed Pagani to be comfortably in P3. Now T. Smith and Aaron won't try and get past yet. He's going to leave it to the Condor Straight. That's where it all happens on the last lap. Every single race round here, it's close together. They'll not make a move until the last lap. Remember the charity race we had ages ago, and it basically all comes into that last lap. There's about 4 cars gunning for the lead right at the very end. And Pagani's out of this, I'm afraid. He's going to be having to settle for P3. It's between these two who is going to come out on top as they, for the last time, climb up the mountain and are about to drive straight back down again. Aaron right behind, right in the slipstream of T. Smith. And this is it, this is the tight section before the Condor Straight, where it's all going to be decided on the final lap. Still there, Aaron can't afford to drop behind, and he isn't. He's still right there, under 3 tenths away. He's keeping right there. He needs to get this corner and ace it. Now he's got a little bit of a gap, which is going to allow him to get that slipstream down the straight, and T. Smith is going to have to defend here, but it's going to be difficult, and I think Aaron will have this. He's going alongside towards the kink. Aaron has a clear advantage now, and he's already through and gone. It's going to be a tenth he needs to find. T. Smith is back in, is now in the slipstream of Aaron. I think Aaron's too far ahead. Coming into the last few corners, Aaron gets it done, jumps and hops past the curb on the inside. He's not going to be able to get something. He's got to put a bit of an audacious move, T. Smith, and I don't think he's quite close enough. It's going to be Aaron coming into the final corner, and away he goes, and he's going to take race 1. So Aaron wins race 1, T. Smith P2, Pagani does take P3, SVY is going to take P4. Then you've got Rob P5, then it's Fieber, Ross, Leco P8, Ledden P9, Blue Flag P10, it's Peakman, Junkie Sport, Bread, Mike, who is just very closely followed by Nobby Norris. So that is your results for race 1. Aaron takes it on the last lap from T. Smith, and Pagani rounds out the podium there for race 1. So there we go. But this next race will be very interesting. The top. No, it's full reverse grid actually, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, I'm getting confused. So many rules. It changes in season, so it's a full reverse grid from race 1, and it's the rolling start. So what that means basically is there's about a second and a half. There's about a second and a half roughly between each car, and what that does is make it a lot harder for the guys that were up at the top end of the field in the last race to get back through the pack. Sometimes it made it too easy when it was a standing start, whereas a rolling start is much more difficult, and especially round here where overtaking isn't fairly straightforward. There's not many places to overtake round here. You kind of got that first straight after turn 1 to turn 2, and you've got the Condor Straight. There's not really anywhere else. Everywhere else you kind of have to make an overtake up. it needs to be a bit ballsy. But those two are the only. Obviously, they're quite spread out. There's about a minute and a half odd between when you do those two straights. So that's the difficulty with this track, is that it's a long track and there's not many places to overtake. So there we go. Decided on the last lap, and I wouldn't bet against it being the same in this second race. Also, I believe, now I'm going to double check that we are doing this before I mention it, but I hope we are, because it'll make the last race very interesting if we do. So we are, like we are, yeah. So I think, don't quote me on this, but I think the last race is night. Possibly. It's 6 o'clock. Now, if I'm not mistaken from doing Bathurst and messing about, I think 6 o'clock is the night race. And if you've got a night race to come at Bathurst, that is going to be very, very special to watch. Because it's reverse championship order. That's where I'm still over there. But third race went out. And it's Group 3 cars. And if it is at night, Group 3 cars going down the mountain at night is going to be something to behold, something to get excited about. If we are going to have that, now I hope we do. I think we are, but anyway, we'll wait and see. But for this race, it is during the day at least, so straightforward enough. And you'll see the people that there's a couple in here that do have a tendency to flash their headlights by accident if they're on controller. When I was, obviously it doesn't happen when I was on wheel, but if I was on, you could always tell when I was on controller, because you'd see my headlights flashing away, because the headlights flashed when you hold down R3 basically, just holding down your left LP, sorry, holding down your left analog stick, pressing it down, set off your front lights. So yeah, that happened to me a lot of times. So we'll see if that happens. that could be quite distracting. It's not distracting during the daytime because you can't really see them, but during the night it definitely would. So we'll see if that happens. Anyone, but it will be Nobby Norris on pole, I believe, on Mike in P2. So yeah, as I say, it's going to be Nobby Norris leading us off, and as I say, it's rolling start, so you can see the difference already. Gaps between cars. So Aaron's not going to have an easy job from the back of the grid to get through. Which could make this very, very interesting. So here we go. Nobby Norris is going to lead us off here. Go. Nobby Norris gets us in towards turn 1. Will not be much action here, so it's about a second gap. Under a second between each car. And Nobby Norris does turn 1 alright, and he's heading down towards turn 2. And just Mikey in his slipstream right just behind. So see Nobby Norris can keep in front of Mikey for the first part of this second race. Oh, Mike is very wide. This slipstream has caught him out quite a bit there, and Mike's well outbroke himself, and that's him down to P4 already. That's not the start Mike would have wanted from red spot, and blue flag's under pressure already from Peatman here up into that left-hander. It's a really tricky corner, left-hander camber. It's kind of weird. Corner, it's a tricky corner. There we go. Not many overtakes as you would expect with being a rolling start here. Just Mikey getting under pressure here from blue flag very soon. Down towards hill. The hill we go down the mountain. There's no track quite like this on the calendar. GT. It's just unique in every sense. Mike's very wide again there. They're very much under pressure here. We're already alongside blue flag. He's already past his blue flag. Mike is under pressure here from Pete if possible. He's going to have an overspeed here and the slipstreams as well. So this way could be under pressure here. So Mike might think about coming back at blue flag. Peatman also trying to get in the action down the inside. Peatman down the inside. Going to go wheel to wheel between him and Mike. And Peatman wins out, gets past Mikey. Now Lennon might have a look as well at Mikey. Lennon down the inside of Mike. Mike having to try and defend. Lennon down the inside. Round the outside. Mike's managed to hold it, I think, there. He's done a good job to hold that. Nobby Norris is down to P3 as Bread now leads us onto lap 2 from Junkie Sport P2. Junkie Sport might think about a move here on Bread. Up and towards the next corner, up towards turn 2. In the slipstream of Bread. Nobby Norris is behind him as well. Still in P3. Junkie Sport pulls to the outside. He's going to have to go the long way around here. Bread defending the inside. It's going to be a difficult move here. I think Bread might keep this. Junkie Sport backs out. It's too difficult to go around the outside here. Nobby Norris has broke himself and went too wide. And now he's lost the position to Peatman. Mike is in P6 still ahead of Lennon, sorry, in P7. Then it's Lee Cole comes in P8. He's having to defend from Bieber and Ross. Then comes SBY, Rom, Pagani, Aaron and T Smith, P14 and P15. 7.5 seconds off the lead of the race, who's currently Red. It's changed from Nobby Norris. Nobby Norris down to P5 now. He's now been overtook by Blue Flag and Peatman through the middle sector. Let's keep an eye on Junkie Sport and Bread as they head towards down the mountain now. At the tricky section of this circuit. Watch the walls. They're everywhere. Bread very nearly taps the inside there. Got away with it. Junkie Sport trying to find a way through. It's just probably should have backed out there. There's no point trying to force a move through there. Better just backing off and waiting for the straight. Here we go now. He's in the slipstream. Red hasn't really got anything to defend with here. Junkie Sport pops himself down the inside. He's already ahead as they head towards the kink. Blue Flag will try and get a move as well. Peatman's trying to go round the outside of Blue Flag. There's contact has been made. Blue Flag now trying to deck down in inside the Bread, and I think that might have knocked off Junkie Sport in the process. Very messy couple of corners that. And there was just a little bit too much contact and some nudging going on, and I think Junkie Sport's come a cropper at the end of it. Blue Flag up into P1 now. Red's in P2. Peatman's still in P3 after the contact. Nobby Norris is P4. Now Lennon P5. Mike's in P6. And we've got Lee Cole, Feber. Mike just went a little bit wide there. Feber getting past Lee Cole. And now he's having a look at trying to get past Mikey as well. He's going to have to slipstream on Mike. Maybe a little bit too far back. Mike is going to be under pressure possibly here, just to enter the braking zone. He's getting very close. Feber going to try and go down the inside. Mike gives him the room round the outside. Feber nips up into P6. 2 moves done in a straight for Feber. Up to P6 he goes. Ross is past Mike as well. Mike's now got past Balikol as well. And he taps the wall for good measure. Mike's having a mare there. He's lost 3 places in the space of a couple of corners. And he drops down a P9. SVY is now next up to try and have a go. And he's already through, I think, and so is Rom. And it's getting bad to loss here. Mike's down at P14 and it's all over basically for Mike. He's lost them all the places. Down at P14 he goes. Nobby Norris still doing a good job holding up P4 at the moment. He's having to defend from Lennon, who comes down the mountain. He's putting some pressure on him already. It's still Blue Flag who leads though. Down the mountain at the Forest Elbow onto the straight. Red, will he think about coming back at Blue Flag here? Does he have the pace and the straight line speed and the slipstream? He's closing, but not quite enough here. Coming very close, just as head into the braking zone, but it's a little bit too far back. Lennon up past Nobby Norris in P4 now. Ebro's already up to P6 with Ross P7, Leaco P8, there's SVY P9, Ron P10, Pagani, Aaron T. Smith on a bit of a train here, and P13 all the way up, quite a few of them picking up dust on the outside. I think near enough them all really did that, yeah. Very close there between Rom, SVY and Pagani. These three all have history with each other. So, let's see what happens here between these three. SVY, he's moving under pressure here, I think. He's outside a slipstream range from Lee. He's blocked his car right in the middle there and defended it. Keeps the place at the moment. Still blue flag and red up front. But then you can see how much closer they all are here. Look at this big train of cars patching onto the back of them. Lennon up ahead. That's not been honest in that last straight. Sees heading after Peterman now, so he can close that gap. Red and blue flag, only 3.8 seconds off the lead. Lennon. It's an opportunity for him here. There's not many laps to go. It's definitely an opportunity for people to get on the podium and possibly get a race win that don't usually. Lennon might pick up a penalty there. He's very, very far on the inside. He's got away with it. I think he has. If you've got that far on the inside on the other side of the white line, you can pick up a penalty. He's got a little bit of a gap to Fred now, so he's going to be under pressure here. Who might be under pressure is Bieber, possibly. Bieber very lucky, he's got slipstream on Nobby Norris here. Ross is right there. I think it's, yeah, he's batted off a little bit. Bieber's a little bit, oh god, a lot of them are wide though. Lennon's wide, Ross was went wide as well. They all kind of went wide, to be honest. Oh, it's very close there. Lee Call, SBY, Roman, Pagani. Very, very close between all of these. I mean, Tom still down in P12 and P13. It's just a nightmare to get past around here. And Nobby Norris is driving very, very well here. He's keeping in P5, and I'm honest, Sweeper's outside a slipstream range. I think sometimes, if you're not entirely familiar, we saw him and Mike are quite well adrift in the last race, to be honest, but I think sometimes around certain tracks it can benefit to have a car in front of you that kind of knows the track or a little bit quicker than you and kind of show you where to go, do the lines that you're kind of maybe not doing. I think that might be what's benefiting Nobby Norris here, as we've seen. He might really struggle, but Nobby Norris seems to be doing very, very well. Lennon's went very wide there. Andrew's in different lines there, but that was very wide from Lennon. And up front, still, as you work between the top three, top four, gaps are the same. They're all kind of outside a slipstream range for each other, just about. So, I mean, Lennon was 3.8, I believe he's now 4.4. So Lennon doesn't have the pace, which is the issue, because they aren't closing up on the pack ahead, and Nobby Norris is being an absolute buffer at the moment to the guys behind because he's driving really well. So he's going to be under pressure here. He's not going to have slipstream from Lennon down the Condor straight, and he is going to the guys behind well, and it could find himself overtook by 2 or 3 here. Oh, especially if he does that, and he's went wide and hit the wall on the exit, and Ross is going to be already alongside him, passed. So there we go. Nobby Norris is passed by Ross. He's going to be passed by Bieber as well here. Down the straight, Nobby Norris has lost 2 places. He might even lose 3 as Lee Cole will also try, and he's going to have the slipstream ahead. Lee Cole gets past as well. Nobby Norris down to P8. Lee Cole is on the curb on the inside. Ballsy. And Nobby Norris is down now to P8. And he's got SY now coming out of man Rom. Ross is still going to have Bieber to contend with as well. It's still blue flag with 2 laps to go. He's in the lead of the race. He's been unchallenged since he got there. Red still in P2. Then it's Peatman. then Lennon, who's catching slowly up to Peatman, but he isn't catching the top two really. And then we've got Ross. Now these are out of the running now. There is no way, unless some massive crash happens up in front, that these are gonna catch by 6.9 seconds. That's just not gonna happen. And now there's a battle going on here. I think a lot have realised they're not really going to get much else out of this race, so they're going to be battling between themselves now for the next 2 laps. Weber still in P5, Ross has dropped down to P7 there. And that little battle, SPY is very wide, Nobby Norris is still in P9. Aaron nips up, he's nipped up ahead of Pagani, and now he's trying to get past Rom. You can see how tight it is, how closely matched they all are. At the moment, it's a massive FTRL train, possibly the biggest I think I've ever seen, all the way down from P4 all the way down to P12 is covered by not more than like 2-3 seconds. Look at the state of it. Nobby Norris on the outside, he's been overtook down the hill by Aaron. Jesus Christ almighty, someone in the wall on the outside. It's Nobby Norris. I've never seen I've never seen so many cars in the space of 2-3 seconds. Blue flag is he's on his own. He's got no one in it. Nowhere near him. Brett, he's got 1.6 seconds to Brett. Comfortable margin. Brett's get the similar to Peatman. Lennon's not making any inroads here at all. Weber now, it's 8.1 seconds. Shows you. The fastest lap of the race is 2 minute 9.9, which is over half a second slower than the fastest lap of the last race, and they're still making time up on these guys who are lapping in the 2 minute 8s, 2 minute 7, 2 minute 8s, 2 minute, oh my god, 2 minute 7, 2 minutes 8, 2 minute 12 is even 2 minute 11, 2 minute 12s, I get 2 minute 7, 2 minutes 8, so they're all lapping that, they're 3 or 4 seconds off the pace, certain laps here, these laps, just no one near it. Weber's on his own, he's just done a 10.6, which is his fastest lap of the race. God, he's had a massive wiggle on the exit there. This is the last lap of the race. T. Smith is down in P12 and finished P2 in the last race. That doesn't show you how hard it is to overtake around here. I don't know what this. Absolute buffers in the way for a lot of them. Oh, the battle there between Rom, Pagani and Aaron. Down the back, still Nobby Norris down to P14 now, Mike's down to P15, blue flag's comfortable, 2.2, not sure what happened in that crash that happened, if there'd be some retrospective action to do with that, I'm not really sure who was to blame and all that, it was too crowded, wasn't able to really see, no matter what, at the moment, blue flag is 2.5 seconds clear of the field. Looks like a podium of blue flag, Bread and Peatman. At the moment though, Peatman is getting close very slightly by Lennon. Lennon is in slipstream range for the first time, so for Peatman to get this podium he's going to have to keep in front. He might just be far enough in front here. It's going to be close between these two for the battle for P3. I think Peatman's close enough. What's happening behind, not much in all honesty between those lot. Lennon's closing, it's under half a second, under 4 tenths, but it's not going to be enough. Peatman's a little bit wide, still, it's alright for the moment. I think the blue flag comes round, final corner and he's going to take the race win from Bread in P2, it's going to be Peatman. So there we go, a podium, blue flag, Bread and Peatman is your top 3. Lennon P4, Weber P5 and gets fastest lap of the race from SBY in P6, Ross P7, Lee Cole P8, Pagani's P9, Aaron's P10, Rents Rom, then comes T Smith, then comes Nobby Norris, Junkie Sport and Mikey rounds out. There we go. Well, that just shows you, I did say we're going to have some new podium sitters. I think they've all been on the podium. I did say we might have some new race winners. Sadly, don't not, because blue flag has won many races in GT. But there we go. But definitely not the expected podium you would get from a Group 4 race usually. It just goes to show you, if they drive well enough, and they all did, and they all drove pretty quickly there, those front three, they didn't make any mistakes, it just goes to show what can happen. Because in certain tracks like these, it's horrendous to overtake on, and you end up in a monster train, and a slipstream monster train, and that's what happens. Very well done to those top three there on that race too. Didn't put a foot wrong all race. Here we go. So it is 6:15. So I believe it is. It's night. So who is looking right at this point in time? If anyone hasn't looked at the timings for the Group 3 race, they are now shitting themselves, realising it's at night. Because there's street lights and lighting in the start-finish straight, but see when you get past that start-finish straight, it is pitch black. There is no lighting, there is nothing whatsoever. You need to know this track. You need to know your braking points in the dark. You need to know exactly where you're going. If you're not entirely familiar with every bit inch of this track, you are going to go off some amount here, because it's dark and you cannot see a thing down the mountain at Bathurst. So this is going to be one to watch. Now 40 minutes in the dark at Bathurst. It's custom reverse championship order. As you can see, as you can see, with his headlights on and climbing up the mountain, you cannot see what's coming in front of you until it's basically right in front of you. So you definitely need to know where you're going at all points around here. There's going to be some sketchy moments to tell you down this hill. Yeah. What a race we've got here. 40 minutes of this. Definitely. If any of them haven't seen this time and are now realising it's a dark, they're going to shit themselves here. Because Bathurst tonight is something else. And for the guys, first championship order, to get through the pack here, it's not going to be easy at all. Unsurprisingly, we've got a lot of the grid out right now. Getting to grips with the atmospherics of the race that's about to happen in front of them. If anyone is relishing this, it'll be Pagani. He'll love this. I must say, it's going to be an interesting one to commentate on this one. Thank God we've got the things above the cars. Otherwise I wouldn't have a bloody Scooby Doo. I think there's only one possible thing worse than this. I mean, I'd love it, but worse than this for a lot of the drivers would be the Nordschleife 24-hour circuit, the one that combines the normal Nordschleife and the Nürburgring together. You can do that at dark, and I mean, as you could probably imagine, that's in the middle of a bloody forest. So if any haven't done that one, that's even worse. You need to know the Nordschleife will get back your hand for that one, and for many people they don't. So I think that's possibly the only other track on this that's worse than this. But tell you what a scene that is over the mountain. You can see all the lights. So usually people mess about at this point in time, but no one's messing about. You see a lot of people messing about and doing donuts and things. Not this evening. Just intrigued to see how many crashes we're going to get, to be honest. Like people such as Blue Flag and Bleak and all that do regularly do ACC in the dark, I think, and it's pitch black on there, even worse than this. So they will be very familiar with this. So, well, some of the other ones, this will be the first time they've done this. Minute 4.2 is the fastest practice lap so far, so it's a little bit down on what you would expect. Medium tyres, probably talking you could get in it. The fastest guys will be able to get into the 2.2s here on medium tyres. As you can see, 2.3s for SY. Yeah, 2.2s will be the times, fastest times you'll probably expect, I think, in this race. Fast lap will be a 2.2, I'd imagine, something around that. But regular lap times of about 2.3, although 2.3 would be very, very good. You can get that. Starting in just under a minute there, so obviously we do have, as Aaron just reminded, pit window, which is 10 minutes, the middle 10 minutes this race, so after 15 minutes. So about 25 minutes to go, you can pit until 15 minutes left of the race. So that middle 10 minute slot you have to do your pit stop, and it's only medium tyres. So if you want to try and get a bit of undercut of your traffic, which as we've seen from the last race can very much happen, and you can be losing seconds on each lap, so it can be quite beneficial. Yeah. Here we go. Bathurst at night. This is a first for us, I think. I don't remember ever doing this in GT Sport. And this is a first. Night race at Bathurst. I think it's any one of them could be involved in incidents here, so I think this could be a bit of a lottery who wins this. Possibly. So I see reverse championship order. So obviously Junkie Sport having being the reserve, he's P1. It's Peatman obviously, Mike and Nobby Norris. Here we go then, rolling start, night race at Bathurst and Group 3 cars. Here we go. Junkie Sport is going to lead us off into turn 1. And the lights are going to disappear as they head off into the darkness on their opening lap of Bathurst. And he's alright out through turn 1. Peatman and Mikey a little bit of wheel spin on the exit. But as we go, all we can see now is the headlights appearing all the way down the grid. And it's Mikey still in P3. Nobby Norris hasn't had a good start at all already. And Aaron is already going to go round the outside towards turn 2, and it's going to be, and it's contact between Aaron and Nobby Norris. Nobby Norris will wait for him, I'm sure. Maybe he won't. Some contact there between Nobby Norris and Aaron into turn 2. It's fair, they didn't lose much time actually out of that. It's Lennon still in P4. I think Nobby Norris is under pressure again. Nobby Norris might have just Nobby Norris has let Aaron through there. He's going to be under pressure from 3, but that's going to get tight and very twisty around this section. Group 3 cars around here difficult to do. You'll see people lifting off very slightly through that corner possibly. You can get it right, you can do it flat out. Nobby Norris, contact, and it was maybe Lennon. Oh my god, someone else is in the, who's that? Mike is round, Mike's round, Lee's round. There we go. I said it was going to catch people out, didn't I? Dark down the mountain, and 2 come a cropper in lap 1 already. Carl leads us. Junkie Sport down the Condor Straight on lap 1. Peatman in P2. Lennon is in P3. Aaron Sit nice in P4. Then comes Fever. There's 2.8 seconds to find on Aaron. There is a battle going on. Rom is to P6 for Nobby Norris. Ross had a massive squirm there. He's very lucky still. Oh, Ross with a bit of a switch back on Nobby Norris. Nobby Norris is been pushed off very slightly and he's down a P10 under a lot of pressure. Nobby Norris is not enjoying this last lap, and then he's broke so early for the last corner that he's ended up being pushed off. Actually, I don't know if he did break that early. SVY's let him back through. I don't know what is going on there. I think he broke quite early, but I think SVY's been nice and letting them back through. That's what I mean. It's definitely, you don't know where your braking points are, especially as the brake marker boards go here. It's going to get even worse. They're lucky at the moment. The brake marker boards are still all there, I think, but you really do need reference points to brake in the dark, and some of these won't have it, and won't have them nailed down. So it's going to cause issues for them all, I think, here at some point or another. Junkie Sport leading from Peatman, Lennon and Aaron on lap 2. Fever is P5. We've got a battle going with Rom and Ross through that section. I don't see cars side by side through there very often. Now these two corners are amazing in Group 3 cars. Absolutely flying round them. Look at the scene coming down the mountain in the dark. They're all flinging themselves down the hill, watching the walls on the inside. Rom getting all out of shape, squirming his way down the hill, wrestling the car all the way down to the forest elbow, trying to keep inside a slipstream range. You can see him pushing the car, flinging it in, trying to get it to stick. And he's outside a slipstream range, which means he's going to be under pressure as Lennon's got past Peatman. I think possibly down here in Condor Straight. Ross is in the slipstream range of Rom, and he's trying to get past here, and he's going to pull out, and they're going to go wheel to wheel as they enter the kink through here in Group 3 cars. It can get messy, and as you can see, someone is had a massive scrum. I think that might have been, Rom's off in the grass on the side, and he's come on the track and nearly took someone out, I think, there. Very messy, as you would expect though, with it being in the night. Carl wondering what's going on behind. He's having a nice time of it out there. 1.1 second gap to Lennon, who is going to be, I think, overtook here possibly by Aaron into the next corner. Aaron can get a good run at him here, and Aaron's going to go down the inside. I don't think Lennon is any interest in defending this really, or is he? Oh, he is. He is. I thought with the way he let him have the inside, he was going to allow him to go through, but Lennon, I must say, done very, very well defending that. Put his car in exactly the right place, managed to hold it round the outside, get the drive. Did a really good job there. Peatman P4, there we've got Fever coming in P5. He's got a bit of a gap behind, and there was a lot of contact that happened behind him. Pagani's P6, watch out behind, he's going to be rapid at points this race. Blue flag P7. And then comes T Smith, championship leader, in P8. Ross comes in P9. Then we've got Robin P10, followed very closely by SBY after that early contact he had with Nobby Norris. Red's then in P12. Lee Cole, Nobby Norris, Mike, all of these have had certain little incidents. So, two of them span at down the mountain in lap 1. Junkie Sport got that forest elbow all wrong there, and he's lost a little bit of time. So Lennon still doesn't quite have slipstream off of Junkie Sport. Aaron does have slipstream off of Lennon. So you might think of a move down here, but it might be slightly too far back. We'll see, he's going to close up quite quickly towards him, under 3 temps, but it's not quite. He needed to be a full temp or so closer as they enter Condor Straight. Lennon on traction here on the medium task. Some of them very close to having some incidents, but they're all managing it so far, or a lot of them are managing this all right. The pit window will open in about 8 minutes time. We'll see if anyone goes for a bit of an undercut. Carl still leading at the moment. Peatman in P4. Pagani is coming in P5. Then we've got blue flag T Smith, positive Ross, Beaver, SBY, Rom, Lee Cole, Nobby Norris, Bread, and Mike's at the back. Carl under pressure from Lennon. He's obviously made a mess of turn 1. Lennon's going to try and go down the inside of turn 1, but he backs out at the last second. It's getting very close between the top 3 now, as they've all closed up on each other, and you can see Peatman in the background, and that's Pagani hovering behind Peatman in P5. Pagani's coming as well. Aaron could get away, I think, possibly here. He has the pace, but he needs to get past these two. Lennon having a look at Carl, nowhere really to get past. Up the mountain they go, into the two of the fastest corners on the track, two of the most difficult corners of the track. How much track do you use? Do you lift? Carl lifts a little bit, going through those two corners. Down the mountain they go. Carl still leads from Lennon and Aaron. He might not be leading at the bottom of the Condor Straight though. Depends how close Lennon can keep to the back. He needs it to be about half a second as they enter the elbow to possibly get past. Has he got a good exit? He does indeed. He's got a decent exit. He's going to be in the slipstream. He's going to get past here. He's going to be close. He's going to be alongside at least. Will he be able to complete the move? Carl looks like he's taking the outside, so he's... no, he isn't actually. He's getting Lennon to go on the outside. Lennon's just about side by side past as he enter the kink. Lennon gets up into P1. Has he broke? Yeah, he has. He's broke very nicely there. He's managed to get the car broken, turned down very nicely. Sometimes with that much slipstream, you can underestimate how fast you're going as Carl flings it into the last corner and gets all out of shape. And Aaron might think of a move here into turn 1. Side by side to go. Aaron's going to have this move done into turn 1. Carl doesn't have anything to defend with. And it's Lennon from Aaron now, the leader of the race. Carl's in P3. Then we've got Peatman comes in P4. Pagani's still there in P5. And as I said, the fastest lap of the race will be in the 2s. It's already a 2-minute 2.4. Pagani is flying. He's so quick round here. I already mentioned to you before that he was in the low 2s round here on the medium tires. That's very quick pace. You never know, he might even be able to get in the 1s if he's got slipstream, because that 2.4 wasn't the slip. So if he got slip, he'd be in the 1s. Lennon, what can he do? Can he keep Aaron at bay here? Can Carl get back in a rhythm? Flying round the two left-handers. Carl very wide. He's somehow managed to get away with that there. Carl. Aaron, we see the rear stepping out on him. It's just like wrestling the car down that hill. It's how fast you go. You do need to wrestle it. It's how you get the pace out of the car. The nicer it looks going down the mountain a lot of the time, the less fast it is, the slower it is. The wrestling does get you the time. You need to bring it in there to maximise your pace. Carl had an absolute nightmare through that sequence of corners. Pagani's got past Peatman, is up into P4 already, so he's coming. He's on the march. T. Smith in P6 from blue flag in P7. Then comes Fever, very closely followed by Ross as well. Battles up and down the field. Here, everyone trying to get back up towards the front of the grid. 2.7 for Fever. He's in 2s as well. A lot of drivers in hovering in and about 2s, the low 3s here. Pagani already 1.2 seconds behind Carl in the battle for P3. I must say, Lennon's doing a good job out front. 3.2 consistent. If you can keep that consistent pace now, that's a decent pace. Pagani, I think, does have the outright pace advantage over the field at the moment. By the pace he's managing to achieve, he manages to do a lot of 2.4s, 2.5s, things like that. He'll be winning this race, because I don't think most of the field will not be able to hack that kind of pace. If they would, it would probably be only be for a lap or so, they're one off. So we'll see if Pagani, how quick he can get up through the field. In fairness though, Lennon is over half a second up through the middle sector on his previous best, which was a 3.2, so that's a massive chunk of time. And I must say, Lennon is driving beautifully at the moment. Oh, he's tapped the wall there on the outside, but that won't do much. He's keeping Aaron at bay here. Everyone knows how quick Aaron is, and he is keeping Aaron at bay. And I always say Lennon pulls things out the back, and he's lost a little bit of time in that middle sector, but he's still up on his best time. Pagani's already in P3. He's got past Carl on the Condor Straight. He's just alongside and past now. T. Smith is coming with him though. So it's going to be Pagani and T. Smith in P3 and P4 coming at Aaron and Lennon now. Pit window's going to open in 2 laps time. So they'll be able to pit very shortly if they wanted to. But these two very rapid. Pagani and T. Smith are out the traffic now. Now they can push. As Lennon sets his fastest lap of the race in a 3.1. Aaron's got a second penalty. It's a big gap behind to Pagani and T. Smith, but they'll start to close that now. They're out of the traffic. They've got past Carl. They've got past Blue Flag. They've got past Peatman. Blue Flag now is going to try and get past Carl. Carl slipping down the order now as Blue Flag now tries to go down the inside. Carl gives him the room, and Blue Flag moves up to P5. He's going to be under pressure now from Bieber, who's in P7 at the moment. And Ross is trying to come round the outside. There's not really any chance to come round outside there. And SVY nips up past Ross after he hits the wall. And out they go. Bieber chasing after Carl in the battle for P6. There's a few well adrift down the back of the field. You can see on the mini-map there's a few miles behind. I think behind P11 it is. That's a lot of cars. That's 4 cars that are well out of this race and are at least 30 seconds behind the rest of the field. Have a look in a second. Let's have a look. It's Lee, who's 20 seconds off the back of Rom, then Nobby, Red and Mike. Every one of them are all detached from the back of the field. So Lennon is 2.1 seconds clear of Aaron. What on earth? Someone been feeding some magic beans or something to Lennon or something. Like, how's he? Where is he fit? He's just done a 2.8. He's getting faster every lap. He's 2.5 seconds clear of Aaron. What the? Can Lennon win this race? Is this a possibility right now that we need to consider? Lennon might actually have the pace to win this race on merit. At the moment, Pagani and T. Smith aren't making any inroads really on Lennon's pace. Like, I've been amazed if Lennon can keep up that pace all the way through the race though. But good on him if he does. Better turn up for the books. Lennon wins race 3 as well, just after the result we had in race 2, which was a bit of a shock as well. Not entirely as we knew. There's going to be some unexpected podium setters with the way race 2 works. Blue Flag followed closely by Bieber and SUI down the mountain. Ross in P8, then comes Carl in P9, losing a little bit of time, and he's very sideways down the mountain. He's lost a lot of time there, and Peatman might be looking at getting past as well. Rom is now made a mistake, and he's 9 seconds away from Carl. Rom's had an off somewhere. Peatman is now side by side already with Junkie Sport in the battle for P9. In the slipstream, he's pulled out. A very close side by side to go with a kink. Peatman's just in front, into the braking zone they go. Peatman moves up into P9. Nice move. Aaron pits from P2. Pagani pits from P3. So, T. Smith and Lennon carry on. Lennon just done a 3.5. His worst lap for 4 laps. It's his worst lap time for about 4 laps, yeah. So, can they get the undercut on and will it work? Where does Aaron and Pagani, yeah, it's Aaron and Pagani that pitted come out. Aaron comes out in clear air in P6. No one in front of him for about 5 seconds, so that's a good amount of time. Pagani's come out just behind Rom at the way he is in the slipstream, so he should be able to get past, hopefully down the inside. He's on fresh tyres as well. Rom, will he defend? He is going to try and defend. Why is he defending? There's no point defending. I'm not sure what the purpose of defending that was. He's a pit stop behind. Pagani moves himself up into P7, and now he can try and chase after Aaron, who himself is going to be trying to do that undercut on Lennon. You can see the battle for P3 still between, it was P5 and P6, between Blue Flag and Fever before those two pitted. There's the battle for a net P5 and P6 at the moment, these two. Out front, Lennon has a 7-second gap ahead of T. Smith. Well, Lennon come in this lap, he's doing very well out front. He's driving very, very nicely. He's doing relatively decent times in the low threes. Did say that if you did regular times in the low threes, that's pretty competitive times, and that's what Lennon has been doing roughly. The section of a few laps. Lennon heads into the pits. Now he needs to get his braking zone right. He does indeed. He does it perfectly. Doesn't mess that up. T. Smith, will he come in? He's going to carry on. So T. Smith is going to take the race lead. Now Aaron is 3.8 seconds behind Peatman. Now you're fully expecting Lennon to come out comfortably ahead of Aaron still. Blue Flag also pops into the pits as well, so it releases Bieber up into P2. Bieber is going to try the overcut on Blue Flag and hope Blue Flag maybe comes out in a bit of traffic. Now Aaron's heading down the start-finish straight now, and he's going to head out now on lap 10, and Lennon comes out in front of him just behind Peatman, and he's going to be in the slipstream of Peatman, and if he can get past, this is very important, if he can get past, I don't think Peatman will defend. He's seen Lennon come out of pits. Will he defend this or will he let him go? I think he's going to let him go. He is indeed. Lennon moves himself up into P3. He's now put a car between him and Aaron as well. Driving amazingly at the moment. Lennon is still in a net P1. What can Tom do out front in clear track? No one in front of him. He's going long. Can he do some quick lap times? Give himself the best tyres at the end of the race. Seems to be a tactic of Tom's to go long. Oh, he's off! He's off the track. Feber's going to catch him. That's not what he wanted. He's going to drop him miles behind Pagani now as well. Feber is closing in. He's going to be near enough in slipstream range to head onto the Condor Straight. It's all went wrong for Tom. He's went long and it's not worked out as Feber enters slipstream range and is now, I think, possibly going to get past here on the run down to the next corner. These two are going to come in the pits as well, so they come in the pits at the same time. They're going to come out side by side near enough as well. Feber doesn't make a move, he just sits behind T. Smith. Will T. Smith come in this lap? He stays out. They both stay out. So Lennon's still in P3. He's got over 2 seconds to Aaron. Aaron pitted a couple of laps before Lennon though. And Peatman's in the pits now, which releases Aaron. It means he doesn't have to get past. 2.3 seconds. But Aaron does have a big chunk of penalties. Pagani's 2 seconds behind Aaron, which means he's about 4 seconds behind Lennon. Then comes Blue Flag. And SBY, Ross, P8, Roman Peatman in the pits now. SBY is right behind Blue Flag. Lap 11, we're over halfway through this race. SBY pulls to the outside. I think he's going to be passed by the end of the straight. He's just alongside. It's going to wheel to wheel. Are fighting tooth and nail here. SBY trying to go round the outside. SBY and blue flag. Contact. SBY wins out. Going side by side through there. None of them wanted to give an inch. Lennon still over 2 seconds clear of Aaron. He's got 18 minutes to go here, and he is in the net race lead of the Group 3 race. And no mistake about it, this is on merit. This is on pure pace. He is here. Lennon doing a fantastic job here. Can he keep this up? He's got about 8 laps to go of doing this kind of pace. These two must be heading into the pits now, you would expect. Are losing time now to the guys in, behind. A lap so much slower. Really banking on gaining at the end of the stints as they both come into the pits behind each other. Lennon is going to take the race lead back now in the Kit Kat car. There he goes, back up into P1. Aaron's in P2, Pagani is going to be in P3. SBY is going to come out just in front of T Smith. So it's T Smith in P5 just behind SBY. T Smith has a task now as they go side by side. Jesus Christ almighty, bloody hell. Yeah, that was a wee bit too aggressive. That was far too aggressive there. That was very much, yeah, it was wasn't pretty sight that. Well on the grass there. He was barely on the track, to be honest. Go though, 4.3 seconds is the gap between Pagani and Lennon. Aaron in the middle. These are the three that are going for the leads here, going for the win of the Group 3 race. This lot are going to start flying though, I think. These lot will have extremely good pace here, especially if they keep all pushing themselves, trying to catch up a little bit. They'll start bump drafting as well. These three or four might have very, very good pace. SCY at the head of it. And they're closing very slightly Pagani on this lap. Pagani isn't gaining on Aaron or Lennon at the moment either. Aaron has got that big chunk of penalty as well. Oh, Lennon! Oh dear. That was very, very close. That was hairy. That was a hairy moment there for Lennon. Could have ended in disaster. He's got a decent lead and still has to get rid of that penalty. And you don't get rid of it unless you slow down here. It's not one you get rid of in the braking zones, really. And the pit window's closed as well now, so one's to the end. What a result this. Oh, Jesus Christ, T Smith's off. Is that more contact with SBY? What's happening? Not sure. SBY's holding off from fever though for the time being. I've lost quite a bit of time to Pagani as well. After they gained it, I've lost over a second to Pagani. Bad. Pulled back, so sure. I thought there was more contact there. More for these two, so we're still in the slipstream of SBY. Nowhere near close enough though, so we'll get back to the lead. Oh, it's coming down. It's down on 1.3 seconds. The pressure's going to mount here. As Aaron closes in. He's still got that penalty though, but yeah, it's closing. Pagani isn't really closing much. A 10th every lap or so on average, but it's tiny margins he's gaining, and he doesn't have that kind of time. As Aaron sets the fastest lap of the race at a 2 minute 2.3. To put that in context, Lennon nearly did his fastest lap of the race. You can see his last 2 laps, he's done a 2 minute 2.9, a 2 minute 2.8, and his fastest laps are 2 minute 2.8. So Aaron has picked up the pace, he's found some pace from somewhere, and it's now these two in a tussle for the lead. At the moment, he's not far off slipstream range. Needs another great lap, they might be there. Fever right in the back of SVY now, very close, under a 10th between the two. You can see how close they are. A lot of these are doing personal best at the moment. You've seen Fever's doing his last lap as a personal best, having just pitted recently as well. And that extra pace advantage. Who's in front of Pagani? It's someone behind him. It's Nobby Norris. There was a yellow flag that was under one of the yellow flag, and Norris made a mistake. It was one of the top 3. It's not really come down this lap, the gap between the two of them. It's when Aaron decides he wants to get rid of that penalty. That's the big question. When does he get rid of it? That could be the difference between winning or losing this race for Aaron. What time in a win he gets rid of this penalty. Head on to lap 15. Not long to go here. Fever right in the slipstream of SUI, still not really close enough though. He's still not been able to make a move. You can see he's closing now, up towards the hill. Up the hill they go, closing, but he's just not closing enough. Up first sector in the slipstream. Not close enough though, still there. The gap up front, if anything, this went up by a 10th again, so Lennon's managing to hold it. Tell you, not even if this was anybody in the leads, it's been an outstanding race for them. He's kept Aaron at arm's length the entire race so far, under a lot of pressure, and he's not used to being up there either. So it's 9 minutes to hold on for what is possibly, actually no possibility, the most surprising result I've ever done in commentary. If you would have told me before the start of the night that Lennon was in the lead with 9 minutes to go, the Group 3 race, I'd have thought you were taking the mickey. But he is. He's there. And it's up again, it's 1.6. He's gonna have how many laps? He's got 5 laps to go here, Lennon. Yeah, he's gonna have 5 laps here to do. 1.5 seconds. Aaron's still got 1.6 seconds of penalties. Pagani's got that gap down a little bit. It was 4.3, 4.4 to Lennon. It's now 4 seconds. Oh, Lennon's had a dodgy last corner there. He's lost a couple of attempts to his gap to Aaron there. He's hovering about a second now and needs a good lap here. The closer it gets, the more Aaron will sense this victory and keep pushing. He's got something to aim at. As SUI still in front of Fever. Fever's very close though. Fever is very, very close. He's not made a move though, he's not going for it. I've just seen T. Smith has just done a 2 minute 2 flat. So I said we might possibly squeeze a 1 at a fastest lap, but we're very close to it. It's a rapid time on medium tyres, a 2 minute 2 flat. It's just rapid, going at such a high pace at the moment. He's still there, and it's Lennon, but Aaron's caught him. Aaron's in slipstream range now of Lennon. He's not managed to hold him off now. He's right there. And Pagani's coming as well. Lennon's had a shocking lap. Oh, he's went a little bit wide as well. In fairness, Aaron's not had a good elbow either. This is becoming a 3-car battle for the lead. And the win for Bathurst. 4 laps and a bit to go here. Lennon's still comfortably in front at the moment. Didn't have to defend there. He's still got enough of a gap on the straight. Now he needs a good final corner here. And a good turn 1, so he isn't under pressure at the end of turn 2. So the good final corner has Lennon there. He's increased that gap up to nearly 7 tenths. He can get a good set. He can get a good turn 1 here. Might be out of slipstream range. He hasn't. Aaron's got a decent turn 1 and he's in slipstream range, which means he's going to close up again. He isn't going to get past, but he's closing again. Pagani's still there, 2.2 seconds off the lead. It's going to come down to the last few laps all over again. Like race 1 is Fever, still very close to the back of SUI. He's still not able to make a move. See the pace they're all running at. SUI is closing in, and Pagani as well. He's at 5.8. If it wasn't for them battling, that battle with T. Smithy had and things like that, you never know. These two might have been able to get involved in this battle for the lead. Pagani's had a good lap. It's under 2 seconds now. The gap. Lennon's still there though. He's still in prime position. He's the one with the trap position at the moment. He's the one in the lead. It's the one they have to aim at. Through this section, the pressure, knowing he's got them coming right at him. The most important corner on the track is that Forest elbow. If you get a bad exit, it's game over. You can see Aaron is closing. I think Lennon is just far enough in front for this time. You can see him closing, but he's not quite close enough. And Lennon keeps in front for the time being from Aaron, and Pagani is there. Pagani's nearly in slipstream range of Aaron. So what was looking relatively comfortable at one point for Lennon. Lennon needs to keep his cool here. Good turn 1 he needs. Oh, it's not a good turn 1. It's a bit slidey. Somehow he's not lost that much time, and he's going to be still in the lead here. Coming up towards turn 2. It's not quite close enough, so for another lap, for another half a lap, he's safe probably. Unless he makes a bad mistake in this next section. He's wide. He's hit the wall, I think. Oh, he's still got 1.4 seconds to get rid of. Where does Aaron needs to start getting rid of this penalty though? And he's going to do it strategically. Hey, Lennon's all over the shot there again. Lennon, he's hit the wall again. He needs to keep his cool. He's making mistakes. Lennon, breathe. He's getting ragged, and you can't. There's anything you can't afford to do at Bathurst. It's become ragged, and you can see the gap. SBY is 5 seconds now. You can see how much they're closing in on them because of the mistakes they're making. You can see how much slower they're going now. The lap times have fallen off a cliff over the last 2 laps. Lennon needs to get back in this groove he was in at the start. He's had a good mountain. Down the mountain. He's a good down the section there. He's had a really dodgy exit though. Luckily, Aaron's a little bit too far back. I think he's still safe here. Pagani is very close to the back of Aaron. I think Lennon's just about safe again. It's close though between Aaron and Lennon. Oh, he's going to go for it. No, he's not. Is he going? No, he's going to have to back out. Lennon's went a little bit wide. He's going to give Aaron the chance. He's had to back out. He backed out. He's picked up a bit of a penalty, Aaron, as well. It's up to 1.8 seconds. He had to back out the move. Aaron's a wee bit all over the shot there through the last corner. 2 laps to go. Lennon's still leading the race. Pagani's had a shock. What happened to Pagani there? He's had a shocking exit. This is going to be close up to the top here. Turn 2, it might be a bit close. He's still got this, Lennon. Even if Aaron gets past, he's got a 1.8 second. Actually, Pagani's got rid of his penalty. That's what he's done. Because he knows Aaron needs to back off at some point. He's got 1.8 seconds. Lennon just needs to keep in front of Pagani. You can see how slow they're all going. SBY's coming. SBY's lapping in the 2s. The guys at the front are lapping in the 4s and 5s. They're all catching. T. Smith's only 5.5 seconds off the back of Lennon. Under 7 tenths is the gap between the top 2 at the moment. Lennon under the most immense pressure all race long from Aaron, and he is driven the best I've ever seen Lennon drive. No matter if he wins or not here, this is the most unexpected drive I've ever seen by anyone. He's done an excellent elbow there, and that's going to keep him in front here. He's going to be comfortably still in front, I think. Aaron, he knows he's got 1.8 seconds to find here, and he's not going to be able to find it. He needs to get past and find that gap, and unless Lennon has a crash, he's not going to be that slow in the last lap. Lennon just needs to keep his cool here. Keep Aaron behind. 1 lap to go. Possibly the most stressful lap Lennon's ever done. And at the last corner, decent drive off the turn. Weber getting past it. SPY's crashed. Weber's got past SPY. Lennon in towards turn 1. He needs a good last lap here. This is going to be close between him and Aaron at the top of the... Oh no, Aaron's made a mistake. Aaron's made a mistake. He's ended up going to... He's rid of someone's penalty, but Aaron's made a mistake. Lennon's got clear track. Aaron pushed it on the exit of turn 1. He's got 1.4 seconds. Just drive, Lennon. Don't let Pagani in slipstream range. Pagani's got 7 tenths to find. If you get slipstream, you never know. You might get him down in towards the bottom of the Conrod Straight. Lennon's doing well though, he's maintaining the gap. He's got 2 sectors to go, Lennon, for the best victory I've ever seen at GT. And the most unlikely victory. If there was one track you would think that one of the big guns would win, it be here. Knowing how difficult it is, he's driven incredibly from start to finish, and he's not let Pagani get anywhere closer to 1.3 seconds. He comes round the last important corner before the Conrod Straight, and he's got the gap. He's away from slipstream. Lennon, he's got a few corners to go. Aaron under pressure from Weber, and he's still got half a second to get rid of. So it's going to be, Weber's going to have a go at him. But I'm going to slip back because I want to see Lennon get through the last few corners. And he is. Aaron defends from Weber for P3. Lennon, he's got 1 corner to go. And he's done it. Lennon is going to come home to take an unbelievable victory from Pagani in P2. Aaron is going to drop down to P4. Fever's going to take the final podium place. T Smith P5. SPY P6. Ross P7. Blue Flag P8. Rom P9. Peatman P10. Junkie Sport. Bread. Lee. Mike. Round out. Oh my god. Lennon has won the Group 3 race around Bathurst, and entirely on merit, and has driven one of the best races I've ever seen anyone drive in FTRL. What a race he's just done there. He didn't have the best pace in that race, but he just drove so well throughout, and what a race to end on. So our winners this evening were Aaron, Blue Flag and Lennon, and there we go. What a race to end on. Thank you very much for joining me for what was a quite unbelievable third race, and I will probably be back next week, next Thursday, to do it all again, but not around Bathurst as much as I think Lennon would want to do Bathurst all over again. It's going to be Laguna Seca next week. So join me for that. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed that just as much as I did.